is that too. The first translation of the Quran in English was done in 1649 by Alexander Ross. Then he says the first Muslim translation was 1905. That's how many hundreds of years? 300 years, difference from the first translation to the first Muslim. And that first Muslim translation, you have to understand, it's that person's third language. It was Muhammad Hakim Khan, who wrote from the Urdu, Arabic, then English. So I remember when I was reading this, I was living in Japan, and I was like, that's like me translating the Arabic into Japanese from the English. How good a job we want to do. You get my point?
Yeah.
And you expect me to take that? No, man. We gotta stop being, what do they call it? What is it when consumers and uneducated consumers of that?
Well, I came in on something you were talking about the marriage thing. Somebody asked me about that.
Sorry?
About the marriage thing.
What marriage thing?
Marriage, about getting married through the state courts instead of through the Islamic.
You were discussing.
Okay.
In this country.
How a lot of people, a lot of Muslims are going through that, because even over in Raleigh, you can't get married over unless you go through the courts.
Where?
In Raleigh.
Raleigh?
Raleigh Master. Unless you go through the courts, because
let me ask you something. Do you have to get married through the masjid?
No.
You don't have to get married in the masjid, but the masjid, the reason they did that, the reason they did that is because they got sued. And a guy came and married a sister. He got married in the masjid. He'd already had another wife. And then when he married, he took her stuff and he took off. Her lawyers were telling her to sue the masjid. And she said, no, I want to sue my masjid. And they talked about it. But then on, they said, no, we're not going to get ourselves caught in these kind of situations because it would put the resources of the community at jeopardy.
Right.
Yeah. So they said, if you're going to have a marriage in the masjid, then you can have a license because of that. And that's only protection of masjid, not because they think this is what you have to do. They said, no, we're not going to do it because we're not going to put the people's resources in jeopardy like that.
Well, that's how many years ago was that?
Yeah.
5 years ago.
And some masters don't get involved in the situation.
Right. I mean, that's a small move.
Then you got to think how many people getting married and not staying right and the stuff that the people are doing. They just covering themselves, man.
You come with a whole new name from a place unknown.
Well, that's the problem with the marriage in the United States is the problem of the wali. Okay, the issue with the difficulties with marriage is that when the ladies have a wali and they want to get married, and the wali says no, they fire. Yeah, they fire.
I know.
Which is an illegal action.
Yeah.
You can't fire your wali.
It shows that formality.
Okay.
Stand here and say this.
Oh, the next one is a formality. They hire a yes man, and he's just robot. He doesn't do anything. And then afterwards, I mean, there's a lot of things that we could say about that, but that's all our fault as converts to Islam. Well, not really, because the thing about it, it's so dangerous in the United States. If you do what we used to do, then they give you a RICO. A RICO, a racketeering, act. So back in the day, Master the Taqwa and those things like that, whereas the Muslims would come to your house and beat you up if you, broke the law, basically. Nowadays, the guys that got beat up will probably call the police. Was back in those days, the guys got beat up and then they saw you at the masjid. Said, man, don't talk to me. I ain't talking to you, That guys jumped on me, Or he might start, but it still was brotherhood. It wasn't calling no police, stuff like that. Now they will. And so the da'i, the man, is an empty gun. He's got a weapon, but he's no bullets in it. Meaning there's no way to enforce the law. Does that make sense?
Right.
So people do whatever they want to do. And when people can do whatever they want to do, then you're going to have all types of crazy. Does that make sense? Yeah. And that's where we're at today.
The neighborhood I was brought up here, when the guy didn't disrespect his mother, his father wasn't there, brothers elderly men, they would take care of him.
Well, that- again.
Make sure he respected his mother, even though the father died or whatever. He wouldn't play that. You wouldn't disrespect.
But see, that was still going around when I was coming up too.
Yeah, we allow that.
But that's what do you call it? It ain't happening no more. You know, it's just I'm telling you, I get calls every day. You know, a guy I just got off the phone with him earlier today, and you know, his wife and him broke up. The wife is having a problem with the boy. You know, he's a teenager. She wants to put him on Thursday. You know, because that's what they are telling her. You know, see, and the thing about it, a lot of times the women follow what, you know, they believe the system tells them to do it. And Ibn Taymiyyah talks about that.
Yeah.
Okay? And then he said, no, send me the boy. Okay? The young man. The young man came, and the young man started acting crazy. His father lumped him up. He acted right the whole time he was there with the father after he lumped him up.
Right.
And then he went back. The mother said, well, give him back to me. You can't be hitting on him. And then, I can't be hitting on my own son. Is that what you're telling me? She called the cops on him. She called the cops. Good thing the boy got bad eczema. They couldn't tell if it was eczema or not. So he just said, nah, take him back. Take him. And they called her, oh, he can't tell me. She called 1:30 in the night last night. Complaining. He says, nah, you're not gonna mess up my itikaf. I'm not taking him. Okay? And then she said, I'm leaving him. She left him at the masjid. So he said, okay, well, he called the police, said, look, she dropped him off. I'm gonna keep him. I want you to know I'm keeping the children. Now she called right before I got over here and said, if you don't give my children back by Sunday, you know, she showed the police the paper that says she has custody. This is the crazy you're dealing with.
Let me ask you.
What does she want? She wants him to suffer because they divorced and he got remarried.
Let me ask you.
And you get my point?
Or they on medication?
No.
Most people get on medication. They do crazy things.
No, Akhi, it's not medication. No, it's kuf.
Yeah.
It's jahil.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's not being in a community that can check you and give you checks and balances. When you're in a community that's checks and balances, we were in that same situation where we're in a community where there was an imam, there was a bey, there was an emir, and he said, sit down, be quiet, take your children, you know what I'm saying? He spanked his child, you know what I'm saying? Did you punch him in the face? No? Okay, well, let's go. Next. Then she would have to deal with it and let them realize that you cannot, the wife doesn't have to protect her children from the father. You get the point?
Especially if he's not abusing.
Well, no, this is a new thing. There are abusers out there.
Yeah, true.
So when the abuse, see, but there's a rule in the Sharia. You don't make a rule on the exception.
Right.
Right.
Okay? You understand?
Right.
And that's what we're doing. Because there are the exceptional abuser out there, we lay it on all the men.
Right.
Or we lay it on all the women. And that's the insanity.
That's right.
That's the insanity. So the result's going to be crazy. Yeah? Do we need a hukum to touch a woman if she's falling?
No.
Right? Why? Well, it's haram to touch women, akhi. Do you get my point now?
Exception, right.
That's the exception to the rule. That's not the rule. And that's all it is. You know, but what we're doing, what we have to do is this. Quality over quantity.
Right.
Okay? If we go back to that, if we work and focus on quality, those who want to be sane and want to live a good life the way Allah says, in order to struggle with that, then we focus on that. That's all we have to do. You know, Allah hasn't made us to hold nobody in a headlock and force them to do nothing. Okay? It's the qadr of Allah. They want to go crazy? Have at it. You know? And it's not that we don't care. It's that you have to know where you draw the line. Okay? What you can do. What are the limits of the law? Allah's law and the secular law. That you live under both. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And it's going to come out in this surah. It states that as well. That what a believer is supposed to do is warn. Give glad tidings and warn. If they insist, you do not have to chase them down and force them. You have not been made over them wakil. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And just for the record, when a person becomes the wali, he does not have to marry the woman to the one she wants him to marry to. He is like the big uncle now. And he has to make sure that he gives her a good deal and takes care of that situation, and that he has to investigate the brother, talk to them, and feel if he doesn't feel that it's a good deal, he should not do it at all. You know what I'm saying? And if he does do it, even after he does it, he should follow up on that family and make sure that everything goes and continues to go correctly, like he would if it was his own child, his own sister or daughter.
But see, at that same point, because some brothers have tried to do that, the sister will, like you said, fire him, or either
you can't fire him.
I understand, but she go and do what she want to do, and then someone else, even if the man point this guy.
And that goes to education, okay? What the man has to do as the wali is continue to educate the woman, even though he's not her blood relative. He doesn't let go because she gets married. He now still has the obligation to continue to have an interest in her Islamic education. Whatever the husband's doing. If the husband's doing it too, that's his prerogative. But he has his own prerogative to make sure it's the same way when someone accepts Islam. You gave someone shahada, you just bought the farm with that person. You owe that person to make sure that you educate them properly and continue to make sure that they understand until you die. You know, I gave him shahada, I don't know, I don't remember him. You're supposed to keep up with them as much as you can. So let's get busy because we got a lot to do, and I don't want the Sunday to come and we've not finished, okay? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم على رسوله الكريم وآله وصحبه ومن اتبعه إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم. We're in Surah Al-An'am. Surah Al-An'am is a surah of the cattle. This surah has 165 ayat. It came down in one night. It was accompanied by 70,000 angels surrounding it when it was revealed. It's called the surah of proof, hujjah, the surah of the clear argument. The surah is about aqeedah, correcting our worldview, how we see things. It is one of the most sobering surahs in the Quran. It gives us snatches or pictures of the last thing and how the hisab is going to take place. You know, Allah says, and if you could only see them when they are standing in front of the fire, when they're standing before their Lord, and what they're going to say. When they scream and say, Lord, I swear we wasn't mushrikun. Oh, just send us back. We won't do it again. What's going to happen? Allah paints that picture vividly for us so that we can change our worldview, how we see things, what our reality is. And as it also clearly shows the qadr of Allah, the decision that it's all in Allah's hand, okay? That He is the one that decides. We call it mashiyah. The decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what He decides is going to happen, and what is not going to happen. And that He is the Lord, so He is provided. He is ar-Razzaq, and He is the creator, and He's managing all of our affairs. Uluhiyya is here, Rububiyyah, and His names are laid out in this surah. So it's befitting that at this point, He gives us a story, as He does. And the story is going to be from Ibrahim. As one of the things we have to remember, Ibrahim is considered the father of the Arabs. Okay, the Adnani come from Ibrahim. And they know that. So to hear his stance about Aqidah, his worldview, at a time where they're rejecting the fact that he's talking about Tawheed, and to hear that Ibrahim was on Tawheed is another point that sometimes is lost on the readers when they don't realize the place of Ibrahim in the minds and the hearts of the Arabs, people who hold to their lineage. And they say, your first father, Ibrahim, he was on Tawheed. So that had the effect on them as well in this story. There are a number of stories of Ibrahim in the Quran. In one of the stories, we find him talking to his father, Ya Abati, Ya Abati. And he's talking with all this adab, all this nice manners. In this particular story, you don't find that. You find that there has been some time, and now it's coming off a little bit different, a little bit more firm. And we'll talk about that as it comes. Inshallah. So please follow me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قال إبراهيم لأبيه آزر أتتخذ أصنامنا آلهة إني أراك وقومك في ضلال مبين. Ayah 74. I should have said that from the beginning. I see everybody looking at me holding pages. They're like this.
You're
So he says, وَإِذْ قَالَ Ibrahim, and when, and Allah starts a lot of stories of وَإِذْ. And when Ibrahim said to his father, Azar, are you taking idols as your God? In me, I see that you and your people are clearly astray. Now this is different tone, right? He's taking a stronger tone to his father, and you see he respects his father. In fact, most of his talk is about his father, okay? More than the people, right? He's concerned, and this is the showing his respect for his father. But look, I'm caring about you. You're being astray. So that's what we find here. Unclick your fingers. وَكَذَلِكَ نُرِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ مَلَكُوتَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلِيَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُوقِنِينَ. And like that, we show Ibrahim the malakut, the mulk, the possessions of the universe. Okay, the universe and the earth. And in order for him to be amongst the muqinin, to have yaqeen, certainty. And that's one of the reasons for this surah. I mentioned that at the beginning, that this surah is a surah of yaqeen. We got knowledge, and now we're going to get certainty. And it's important that we get that certainty. Why? Because the next key in La ilaha illallah is inqiyad, qubul, allowing ourselves to accept that, accepting that as our reality. And once we accept that as reality, we'll allow Allah to push us every direction He wants us to do. We'll instant willing obedience to orders. We'll listen and we'll move forward. Why? Because we're being charged to sami'na wa ata'na. We hear and obey. So we have to be certain. And so Allah's given us that certainty here. And He's telling us, He showed Ibrahim these things. And He's showing them to us right now. Why? So that we can be amongst the muqinin. So that we can have this yaqeen. And the word yaqina in the Arabic language it comes from, the asl for it is yaqin al-ma. When it rains and there's holes in the earth, like little pots, and the water gets in there, we say yaqin al-ma. The ma is certain, the water is there because it's taqarra. It's firmly in that spot, those potholes and those things where the water got in there, and it's clearly there. So there's now no doubt about it, the rain there. Where it dried up, it's sucked up in the other places. Does that make sense? فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلُ رَأَى كَوْكَبًا. And then when it janna alayhi layl, he saw the sky, he saw the stars, the constellations. The word jan is very important that we know this because we use this word a lot. Jan, we have jinn, we have jannah, we have janeen, we have majannah. Okay, all these have the similar meaning. Jan or jinn is a creature that you don't see, right? It's tatara. He can make himself concealed. Majannah is a shield that you hide behind and defend yourself so you won't be seen and be armed. Jannah is called it because you've never seen it and you don't know what it looks like. Majnoon, because his intellect is gone. You can't see that he has one by the way he's acting. Janeen is in the belly of a woman. You don't know what it is. So you say it's a janeen. You guys see it? وَجَنَّ عَلَيْهِ لَيْلٌ, when the night covered him up and you couldn't see him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It got dark. فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلُ رَأَى كَوْكَبًا, he saw the stars, or a star. قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي, he said, this is my Lord. Now this is Ibrahim giving da'wah. One of the things you're going to see here, his da'wah didn't happen in 10 minutes. It took time. And so the ulama take these ayat and say, if you want to give da'wah to somebody, you got to take time. Like Ibrahim did here. He saw a star. قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي, this is my Lord, he said. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ قَالَ لَا أُحِبُّ الْآفِلِينَ. And when it went away, he said, I do not love those things that go away. It's not here. And we have to understand stars. Do they stay in the sky? They do stay in the sky. But as the planet moves through the constellation, that star is gone. Right? So you have to understand it through context. What do people worship the most in the world today? Here in the West, does anybody know? Horoscopes. The constellations, the star, right? You're born on your lucky star or your lucky constellation. You get it? So when you're born here, you look up at that time, that constellation is the Taurus, or that constellation is the Scorpion, or the Bull, or the Virgo, or the whatever they call it there. And then when the moon, the planet moves to different stars show up. That's what he's talking about here. We're on a so he's not ruling. That constellation don't rule now. No, we're in the Bull now. We're not in the Virgo now. We're not in the Scorpio now, right? So then if it was really a God, it would have it. It would be there to control the whole thing and not just for 30 days. Does that make sense? So he says, I don't love things that go away. His authority ran out. According to what y'all say. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الْقَمَرَ بَازِغًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. So then when he saw the moon, take your fingers out your mouth, son. He saw the moon bazigan, clear in the sky. He said, this is my Lord. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ قَالَ لَئِن لَّمْ يَهْدِنِي رَبِّي لَأَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الضَّالِّينَ. And so when the moon went away, it got smaller and smaller and looking weaker and weaker. And then it went away, didn't show up. He said, if my Lord doesn't guide me, then I would be amongst the people who are dhalin, who are astray. This is indicative that he never believed that that was his Lord in the first place. And that he's only setting them up for an argument. As is the adab of Ibrahim. When he broke the idol. This is the biggest one. But this is said, this happened before that. This is what he said. This incident here with the scars happened before he broke the idols. Okay? فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغَةً قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي هَذَا أَكْبَرُ. Pay attention to this, all those people who understand the language. Look at the adab he uses. He says, so that when he saw the sun, now the sun can be masculine or feminine in the Arabic language. It's right to be feminine. Okay? But he says, when he saw the sun, Shams, bazighatan, he uses the feminine term for the sun, which is its right, the asl. Qala hadha rabbi, he said, no, this, not hadha. This is my Lord. Why did he say hadha when he just called it bazighatan? Because if it's a Lord, it has to be in the masculine form. You get it? Yeah. So he said, hadha rabbi. Why? Hadha akbar. Because it's the biggest. Because he's saying to them, it seems like your issue here is whatever's the biggest thing is in charge, right? Whatever what it seems to be the most powerful. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَتْ. Now he went back to the feminine. So it went away now, it's afalat, it weak now. He put it in feminine. قال يا قوم إني بريء مما تشركون. He said, oh my people, I am bari'un wala wal bara. Those people claim to follow Aqidah and don't read the Quran, don't memorize the Quran. This is wala and wala bara, straight out. He said, I am free from what you're making shirk with. إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. He says, I have turned my face to the one who فطر السماوات والأرض. فطر شيء is to begin it. Ibn Abbas, he said, I didn't know what the word fatara meant till I met some Bedouins from Yemen. Allah uses the purest Arabic words, but there are different Arab tribes with different Fusha words. So Badi' is what they use in Mecca. But in Yemen they say fatara, to be the first one to do something. So Ibn Abbas said, yo, I saw two Arabs arguing about a well. One said, Ana badatu, Ana hafartuhu, I dug this hole for this well. And the other Arab said, walakinni fatartuha, but I started it. It's my well. So then he understood what the word fatara means, to begin it. So without anybody ever doing it before, without any example, okay? He says, Fataras, I've turned myself to the one who originated, who put this all together with no example prior of the heavens, the universe and the earth. Hanifa. And what is our religion? Hunafa. Hanifa. And he explains what Hanifa means. وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. And I am not a mushrik. Hanifa means to mail, to lean away from something. That's what Hanafa is, to lean away. I incline away from shirk. That's what it means to be Hanifa, to be righteous, to try to straighten things out. وَحَاجَّهُ قَوْمُهُ. And his people argue with him. Don't you see that this was an argument? First he saw the star, then he saw the moon, then he saw the sun. This didn't happen in no day. This happened over a period of time. He set them up time and time ago, trying to establish his argument piece by piece, so that when he finally laid out, some of the people said, yeah, he's right. You know, he's correct. And so we have to have some sense about ourselves when we give in da'wah. Okay? This is what we find in this particular argument here. And so Allah says here, this is Surah Al-Hujjah, right? Argument. So as people argue with him, وَحَاجَّهُ قَوْمُهُ قَالَ أَتُحَاجُّونِي فِي اللَّهِ وَقَدْ هَدَانِي. He said, are you going to argue with me and Allah has guided me? Again, showing he already had this. وَلَا أَخَافُ مَا تُشْرِكُونَ بِهِ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ رَبِّي شَيْئًا وَسِعَ رَبِّي كُلَّ شَيْءٍ عِلْمًا أَفَلَا تَتَذَكَّرُونَ. He says here, and I'm not afraid of anything, those things that you make sure. I ain't afraid of your gods. Because they be like, yo, then God's going to get you. Right? Jesus is going to get you. They say, we believe in Jesus as a prophet. They said, I ain't afraid of those things y'all making shirk with. إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ رَبِّي شَيْئًا. I'm only afraid of my Lord. If my Lord decides, sha'a. Again, the Mashiatullah. This is our Aqidah. This is the Qadr of Allah. We believe what Allah has decided to happen will happen. Period. إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ رَبِّي شَيْئًا وَسِعَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ رَبِّي كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. Wide and expanses is my Lord's ability to do everything, and He has knowledge over everything. أَفَلَا تَتَذَكَّرُونَ. Don't y'all know that? Don't y'all remember? Don't أَفَلَا تَتَذَكَّرُونَ? Don't y'all remember? He's pleading with them. وَكَيْفَ أَخَافُ مَا أَشْرَكْتُمْ وَلَا تَخَافُونَ أَنَّكُمْ أَشْرَكْتُمْ بِاللَّهِ مَا لَمْ يُنَزِّلْ بِهِ عَلَيْكُمْ سُلْطَانًا. He says here, and how can I be afraid? How am I be afraid? We say that in Brooklyn. How am I be afraid? You know? Like, how am I going to be afraid of that thing that you making shirk with, and you're not afraid that you're making shirk with Allah, and you ain't got no proof about what you're saying, and Allah didn't reveal nothing in your favor saying that to give you the authority to make this claim. فَأَيُّ الْفَرِيقَيْنِ أَحَقُّ بِالْأَمْنِ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. So then he says, so then which one of these two groups has more right to be afraid, should be afraid? Okay, if you really know. He's saying if you're really gonna know something, which one should really be afraid? And we know the one that should be afraid is the one that's making shirk with Allah. Okay? Sit over here, the ladies can't see. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. Oh, come sit with me. You good? Sit over here, man. Alhamdulillah. It's my brother from Brooklyn, man. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين آمنوا ولم يلبسوا إيمانهم بظلم أولئك لهم الأمن وهم مهتدون. Allah says, those who, that ends the story, but we're going to clear it up. And those who believe and have not dressed up their iman with dhulm, with oppression, with extremism, these are the ones who should feel safe. And these are the ones who have accepted guidance. The Sahaba were like, oh, subhanallah, Ya Rasulullah, ayyuna la yadhlimu nafsah. Who doesn't go make mistakes and oppress himself sometime? They were afraid. They understood it because the general term bidhulmin is am. It's general because it's nakira. Okay? He said, yo, lam yalbisu imanuhum bidhulmin. Man, that includes any type of dhulm. But he said, no, look at the siyah. You have to look every time you take an ayah. Don't take it by itself. You have to follow the sequential order. What have we been talking about? Shirk, shirk, shirk. So dhulm here is a reference to shirk. And we go back to what Luqman said to his son, right? Inna shirka la dhulman azim, right? Ya bunay, oh my son, know that shirk is the greatest type of dhulm, oppression. And so that's how we define it, by the Quran defining it, and by the sequence, the context. Okay? So Allah says, وَتِلْكَ حُجَّتُنَا آتَيْنَاهَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ عَلَى قَوْمِهِ نَرْفَعُ دَرَجَاتٍ مَّن نَّشَاءُ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ حَكِيمٌ عَلِيمٌ. That ends it. He says here, وَتِلْكَ حُجَّتُنَا. And this is the proof that Allah gave Ibrahim over his people. And hence he gave it to us. Because now we take that and this is how we go forward. Giving da'wah the way Ibrahim gave da'wah. نَرْفَعُ دَرَجَاتٍ مَّن نَّشَاءُ. Allah says he raises up people in ranks who he decides, showing that with this proof you raised in rank. What made Adam, when we did this, what made Adam superior to the angels in the very beginning? What? Knowledge. Knowledge that they didn't have. Inna rabbaka hakimun alim. Allah is Hakim, wise in all ways, knowledgeable of all things. So he has knowledge to use his hikmah, he understands everything, knows everything, and is wise in putting it into place. Right.
Is that behind the order he destroyed all these idols and other?
We'll get to that. He answered the question about the idols. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes each story for each surah, right? Okay? And I don't want to tell him the story because then when we get to that day, he's going to be bored. and you know, I learned from watching Turkish movies that you got to leave people on cliffhangers, right? So they can come back. Inshallah ta'ala. But I'm not going to tell you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ووهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب كلا هدينا ونوحا هدينا من قبل ومن ذريته داود وسليمان وأيوب ويوسف وموسى وهارون وكذلك نجزي المحسنين. So we start another portion. Allah brings it smooth. And we gifted lahu. No, when we're talking about children, most times you'll see Allah say, wahabna, I gifted them with these children. Children are a gift in the Quran. وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُ, and we gave him as a gift Ishaq and Yaqub, his children. كُلًّا هَدَيْنَا, we guided both of them. وَنُوحًا هَدَيْنَا مِن قَبْلِ, and Nuh, we guided him before. Why is this here now? What's the suitability here of this part in the story? This part, by naming these prophets, is showing this ain't nothing new. This ain't something singular to Ibrahim and Muhammad. This is the message of Allah to all of his prophets. So he named some, not all. There's 125,000 prophets. We only hear about 25, 26 of them in the Quran. In the Hadith, we might get a few more. Like Daniel is not mentioned here, but Daniel's a prophet. We get him from the Hadith. Right? And we don't find Yusha's name all the time. We find Dawood, we get pieces up there. And Allah says he told us some of the stories and some of them naqsus alayh. Okay? And we haven't given you some stories. So that's why it's after this mentioning the stance of Ibrahim and the Aqidah, now we're mentioning that all these prophets were on the same thing. So listen again. He says, Ishaq, Yaqub, we guided both of them. Nuh, we guided him before that. And from the dhurriyatihi, from the offspring of Nuh, we have Dawood and Sulaiman and Ayub and Yusuf and Musa and Harun, the two brothers, and Harun is older than Musa. وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ, and he doesn't just restrict it to them. He says, and like that, we reward all those people who are muhsin. So you can get this reward too. It's not restricted to them as prophets. وَيُوسُفَ وَزَكَرِيَّا وَيَحْيَا وَعِيسَى وَإِلْيَاسَ كُلٌّ مِّنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. And Zachariah and Yahya, John the Baptist, and Isa, Jesus the Christ, and Ilyas. And Ilyas is Ilyas in English and in Arabic, I believe, right? What is it? Oh, Eddie. What is it in English?
Elijah.
No, Elijah is a different
Elias,
thing. Elias. It's Elias. It's the same thing. They write it with an E, but it's still Elias. Still pronounced. Elijah is a different name. Eliasha. Okay? You'll see it. We'll get here. وَكُلٌّ مِّنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. All of them are amongst the righteous. وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ وَالْيَسَعَ وَيُونُسَ وَلُوطًا وَكُلًّا فَضَّلْنَا عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. He says here, and Ismail and Yasa'a. And they argue about Yasa'a. Is it Elijah? Like we just said, Yasa'a, Elijah. Okay? And this is what the strongest, in my opinion, is. Like we always say the strongest opinion, but that's not correct. It's our opinion. Okay? So Ilyasa is a reference to Elijah. And Elias was another prophet at that time. He came after Elijah. Well, Yunus, and Yunus is well known, Jonah in English, right? And Lupa and Lot. And every one of them, we gave them status and over all of the whole universe. ومن آبائهم وذرياتهم وإخوانهم واجتبيناهم وهديناهم إلى صراط مستقيم. And we have, and from their fathers and their offspring and their brothers, and we have chosen اجتبيناهم, we've chosen them and guided them إلى صراط مستقيم, to the path that is straight and will straighten you out. So Sirat al-Mustaqim is, we are giving clear guidance that these were on Sirat al-Mustaqim. So we need to be like them, and they were like Ibrahim. ذَلِكَ هُدَى اللَّهِ يَهْدِي بِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ وَلَوْ أَشْرَكُوا لَحَبِطَ عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Dig that. Understand the level that Allah puts this on. He says, ذَلِكَ هُدَى اللَّهِ, this is the guidance of Allah. But he didn't say this. He said ذَلِكَ, giving it rif'ah, giving it status and dignity. That's the guidance of Allah. يَهْدِي بِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ. He guides with it whoever he wants from amongst his slaves. His slaves. Letting us know his slaves. He can do what he wants with them. وَلَوْ أَشْرَكُوا, and if they had made shirk, these prophets, and even if they had made shirk, لَحَبِطَ عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, it have wiped away everything that even they did. Allah is not playing. He's making it clear. Even if the prophets, now we wouldn't dare say this because we have great respect for and sacredness for the prophets, but Allah lays it clear. And even if these prophets would have done it, would have made sure, it would have wiped away all the deeds they did, all the great deeds, it would have wiped it all away. What about us? What our miserable deeds that we done put forward? Our little deeds in comparison to what the prophets have put forward. أولئك الذين آتيناهم الكتاب والحكم والنبوة فإن يكفر بها هؤلاء فقد وكلنا بها قوما ليسوا بها بكافرين. He says, these are the ones, these prophets. آتيناهم الكتاب. Allah said, I gave them the book, prophecy, and a book. And hukum, meaning wisdom. They had the best intellects, the clearest minds, strongest arguments, best focus. وَالنُّبُوَّةِ, and they were prophets. فَإِن يَكْفُرْ بِهَا, so if anyone disbelieves in what they came with, هَؤُلَاءِ, what they came with, any of those people, then I have not وَكَلْنَا بِهَا, I've given it the responsibility to other people who are not going to be kafirs. I give this responsibility to somebody else to carry it for them. You get my point? أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ هَدَى اللَّهُ, these are the ones Allah has guided. فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِي, so take their guidance as your way, an example. Iqtada means to take the example. فَبِهُدَاهُمْ, so with their guidance, you make that your example, your way to follow. قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا, tell them, I ain't asking you to pay me. إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا ذِكْرَى لِلْعَالَمِينَ, this is only a reminder for all the universe, for the whole world. Listen to the next line. وَمَا قَدَرُوا اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ إِذْ قَالُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَى بَشَرٍ مِّن شَيْءٍ. This is a serious line. وَمَا قَدَرُوا اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ, and you have not thought about Allah the right way. You have not given Allah His rights. You don't know who you dealing with. That's what it's saying here. وَمَا قَدَرُوا اللَّهِ, you haven't given Allah the right amount of respect or degree of level that you need to understand. حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ, what He is due. After all of that, that's a scary line. Powerful line. When the Prophet ﷺ, this was revealed, and he recited this, he got on the minbar and said, وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدَرِهِ, and the minbar started shaking. Started shaking itself, shivering, that he was on. It's one of the mu'jizats, another one of the miracles of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When they said, Allah has not sent anything to some man, nothing. What do we find people doing half the time when they don't like your argument? You ain't nothing but a man. Who you? You ain't a man just like me. You put your pants on just like me. Why? They want to find some way to try to break. Really, they dissing themselves. But by saying like as though that means you're nothing. Because you're saying you're nothing but a man just like me. So what? I'm nothing then, right? So that means you're saying that yourself is nothing, and that's why you have this reason you can't see some good coming to somebody else, because you can't see no good coming to yourself. It's just a reflection. You understand that? The same way when someone says you look nice, they're looking for nice. So it's reflective. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
The old heads, old timers used to say that. Say, Salaam alaikum. They say, man, you're looking good, brother. I'm just a reflection. You say, SubhanAllah. It's a beautiful speech. Can't out talk them lifers, man. Them old school cats got it going on. Alhamdulillah. قل من أنزل الكتاب الذي جاء به موسى نورا وهدى للناس تجعلونه قراطيس تبدونها وتخفون كثيرا وعلمتم ما لم تعلموا أنتم ولا آباؤكم قل الله ثم ذرهم في خوضهم يلعبون. Allah is teaching us how to think, teaching us how to respond. He said, say, who is the man anzal al-kitab? Who is the one that sent down the book that Musa came with? And he had in there nur, light, and it was guidance for all the people. Y'all are turning it into books, because they're taking the book of Musa at the time and writing it out in scrolls. Tubadunaha, you showing part of it, but you hiding much of it. He's talking to the Jews, right? وَعُلِّمْتُمْ مَا لَمْ تَعْلَمُوا, and you've learned from Allah's Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You're learning here stuff you didn't know, you nor your fathers. They're going to say Allah is the one that sent that down. ثُمَّ ذَرْهُمْ, then turn away and leave them alone. ذَرْهُمْ فِي خَوْضِهِمْ يَلْعَبُونَ, leave them in their speech playing games. They start, because people playing games with speech sometimes. You know they lying, they know you know they lying, but they still doing it. So ذَرْهُمْ فِي خَوْضِهِمْ يَلْعَبُونَ. You got to play games with them. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ مُصَدِّقُ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَلِتُنذِرَ أُمَّ الْقُرَى وَمَنْ حَوْلَهَا وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ وَهُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. He says, and this is a book that has been sent down, blessed. Allah has sent it down, it is a blessing. It confirms that which you already know. And it is a warning to the Qura, the biggest city of all the cities, and whoever's around it. And those who believe in the hereafter, they're going to believe in this book. Anybody who believes in the hereafter, yu'minuna bi, will believe in the Quran, if they really believe in it. وَهُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. And what should we say? صَلَاتِهِمْ and half صَلَاتِهِمْ. And they are, with regards to their salah, they are serious about preserving their salah. As opposed to those people whom عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ, sahun, right? Those people who are not paying attention to their salah. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا أَوْ قَالَ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ وَلَمْ يُوحَ إِلَيْهِ شَيْءٌ وَمَنْ قَالَ سَأُنْزِلُ مِثْلَ مَا عَلَى اللَّهِ. And who is the worst oppressor? Then and zalim. Remember the word zalim all the time. How many times we've seen this word now? Then the one who makes up a lie about Allah. Lying, kadhiban, clearly lying. Or he says, it has been revealed to me. I got revelation. It ain't nothing been revealed to him. وَلَمْ يُوحَى إِلَيْهِ شَيْءٍ. That's what Allah says. It ain't nothing been revealed to him. Not one thing. And or somebody who says, it's gone, I'm going to get the same thing that was revealed, that Allah revealed. I got something just like it. We see like these people, even with these people, I would dare say, who try to reinterpret the Quran and all this other stuff. They try to change it up, what Allah has sent down. وَلَوْ تَرَى إِذِ الظَّالِمُونَ فِي غَمَرَاتِ الْمَوْتِ وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ بَاسِطُو أَيْدِيهِمْ أخرجوا أنفسكم اليوم تجزون عذاب الهون بما كنتم تقولون على الله غير الحق وكنتم عن آياته تستكبرون. Allah says, if you could only see these ظالمون, I keep saying it redundantly, ظالمون, when they're in the throes of death, غمرات الموت, they're in the throes, the moment of death, and the angels are there, باسطوا أيديهم, stretching out their hands to them, reaching for them to rip their souls out. أخرجوا أنفسكم, the angels are saying to them, release your throat, get that soul out of there, okay? Today you're going to get paid back a painful, horrifying punishment for because what you used to say about Allah and that wasn't true, and because you used to become arrogant with the ayat of Allah, istikbaran ala ayatillah, you wouldn't give them their rights. وَلَقَدْ جِئْتُمُونَا فُرَادَى كَمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَتَرَكْتُمْ مَا خَوَّلْنَاكُمْ وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِكُمْ وَمَا نَرَى مَعَكُمْ شُفَعَاءَكُمُ الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُمْ أَنَّهُمْ فِيكُمْ شُرَكَاءُ لقد تقطع بينكم وضل عنكم ما كنتم تزعمون ولقد جئتمونا فرادا. Allah says, and you, wallah, you're gonna come back to us, you're coming back to us by yourself. Furada, faridan, by yourself. كما خلقناكم, just like you were created, just like I created you أول مرة, the first time, by yourself. And you left behind all those imaginations and delusions you had. وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِكُمْ, behind your back. That's all gone. It's dead. It's over. وَمَا نَرَى مَعَكُمْ, we don't see nobody interceding on your behalf. Those things you was claiming, that they was your partners. Okay, we just shoot a cat. We don't see them. Allah says it's sarcastic to them. وَمَا نَرَى مَعَكُمْ, we don't see nothing with you. You know, all those partners you was claiming. Where's Zeus? Where's Scorpio? Where's, all that other stuff? لَقَدْ تَقَطَّعَ بَيْنَكُمْ, they cut ties with you. All those things. وَضَلَّ عَنْكُمْ, and now they're strayed away from you what you kuntum taz'amun, what you was claiming. All those, and it's za'am, it's a claim. All that stuff you was claiming is gone. And it left you in a lurch. And now even those things, even shaitan's gonna say, yo, don't come to me. I ain't make you do nothing. I gave you da'wah, you replied. You responded. You can't do nothing for me and I can't do nothing for you. Scream. That's what he's going to tell them to do. Scream. Inna Allah. Now that section is over. Okay? We see the pictures Allah drew for us? Now Allah's taking it another portion. Inna Allah faliqul habbi wan nawa. Allah is the one who split the hub, the seed, and the two types of seed, the grain seed and the hub. The nawa is the one for the, what do you call it? What do we eat? The tamar. Date seeds. He splits them, makes life come out of it, right? يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي ذلكم الله فأنى تؤفكون. He says Allah splits the seed. Why is he saying this? Because when you eat the seed, it's done, right? It's dead. It's over, right? All the life has been eaten out of this particular fruit. And Allah says He brings life out of this dead seed. Okay? And He brings death out of the life. Life takes death. Death takes life. That's what Allah, ذَلِكُمُ. That's how Allah does it. So how are you confused? فالق الإصباح وجعل الليل سكنا والشمس والقمر حسبانا ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم. Allah is telling us more about Himself. Listen to this. He's talking about how He creates, how He provides. These are the sifat of Allah, the descriptions of Allah. Okay? He says He splits the isbah, the sunrise, the morning time. He splits the day. Okay? Don't we call it Surah Al-Falaq? The day? Faliqul isbah. He said, I cracked the dawn. Okay? And I made the nighttime peaceful. Sakana, sakina, tranquil. And I made the sun and the moon a means for you to tell time. That's the taqdeer, that's the qadr, that's the decree, that's the design of Al-Aziz Al-Alim, the one who is mighty and in authority and knowledgeable in all ways. وَهُوَ الَّذِي, remember I said huwa alladhi comes a lot in this surah? وَهُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ النُّجُومَ لِتَهْتَدُوا بِهَا فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. He said, and He, Allah, is the one that made for you all stars so you can guide yourselves through the darkness of the night and the day. قَدْ فَصَّلْنَا الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. We have broken it down and explained and made it real clear, the ayat of Allah, for people who have knowledge. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنشَأَكُم مِّن نَّفْسٍ واحدة فمستقر ومستودع قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يفقهون. And He is the one who made you raise up your birth, like let's talk about growth from one soul. And then some live and some don't live, some go away. قَدْ فَصَّلْنَا, we broke it out, we broke it down, we explained it for you, we laid it out. The ayat of Allah for people who have fiqh, who can understand something, who can understand the profound meaning of things. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. And He is the one that drops water from the sky. فأخرجنا به نبات كل شيء فأخرجنا منه خضرا. And He says, and He splits the earth and makes plants come out of it, all types of plants, and He makes them green. فأخرجنا منه خضرا نخرج منه حبا متراكبا ومن النخل من طلعها قنوان دانية وجنات من أعناب والزيتون والرمان مشتبها وغير متشابه انظروا إلى ثمره إذا أثمر وينعه إن في ذلكم لآيات لقوم يؤمنون. And He says here, again, this is science, Allah is breaking it down. He says He makes these plants come out, and they're green. And from that green, He makes seeds come out. Okay? Mutarakiban. They piled up like what we see the corn. Okay? وَمِنَ النَّخْلِ, and he makes, what do you call it, date palm trees. مِنْ طَلْعِهَا, like the ones we have in bananas, in that regard. قِنْوَانٌ دَانِيَةً وَجَنَّاتٌ, and they have covers, some of them are low, and gardens, مِنْ أَعْنَابٍ, which are from grapes, they're on top of the earth. Was zaytun, look at the zaytun. What is zaytun in English? Olive trees. Now this is an olive tree. Normally we get fruit from it, but we get olives from this tree. Okay? What rumman? What is like a rumman? A pomegranate. It's one of the strangest looking fruits. Right? Mutashabihan wa ghayra mutashabihan. Some fruits look alike and some don't. Unzur, look, he's saying, to the fruits and how they come and how they different types they are. Inna fi dhalik, just in all those types of fruits and vegetables that he gives, is an ayat for people who believe. Look at, can anybody make that up? We can't create that. Allah created all this from water. We don't see how it's done. وَجَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ شُرَكَاءَ الْجِنِّ وَخَلَقَهُمْ وَخَرَقُوا لَهُ بَنِينَ وَبَنَاتٍ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يَصِفُونَ. And then they make for Allah shuraka, partners from amongst the jinn, and he created them. Allah created them. That's like you going to your neighbor and telling her, you my mama, and not saying that other lady's your mother. After everything your mother did, you go to the, oh, you're my real mama. Your mama might kill you. Right? She might say, well, go ahead, go over to that lady. See what she do for you. And that's what Allah is saying. Go to that thing you make partners with. See what it do for you. And Allah says, and he created us. وَخَرَقُوا, they invented, they lied, fabricated for Allah, banin, sons and daughters, without any knowledge. Saying the angels are the son, or the Jews are the sons of Allah, and the angels are the daughters of Allah, and all types of foolishness they make up with no knowledge. Subhanahu, glorified is Allah. Wa ta'ala, and high above. He's greater than that, what they're describing him. Amma yasifun. Note the word sifa is in there, because we're learning the true sifat of Allah, the true descriptions of who Allah is and what Allah does. This is him and his Lord, Rububiyyah, his lordship, and him being the Mudabbirul Amr, deciding and managing our affairs, all the different type of fruits, and made us like them, and made them medicine for us, right, and curative for all the things we have. And we say someone else did that? Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yasifun. Badi'u samawati wal ard, the one who began bid'ah, the one who invented the universe and the earth. Anna yakunu lahu waladun wa lam yakun lahu sahibah. وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. How can أَنَّا يَكُونُ لَهُ وَلَدٌ? How can he have a son? وَلَمْ يَكُنْ تَكُنْ لَهُ صَاحِبًا, and he ain't got no woman. He don't got no companion. And هُوَ الْوَاحِدُ الْقَهَّارُ. He's alone, the one and only. And we know for marriage, there has to be kufuwa, right? There has to be suitability. How can you put that together and say that Allahu al-ahadun, ahad, the only one? وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ, and he created everything. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ, and he knows all things. Sakan. I mean, what time is it? 8:10. What time is the salatu? Yeah, you had a silence for the Maghrib. 22? Okay, we can do one more page. Inshallah. So Allah doesn't end that way. I shouldn't have started talking, because when you go, if you turn and you listen to how he ends it, goes to the next line, it's even more powerful. He says, Badi'u samawati wal ard, the one who invented and created and began the universe and the earth. How can he have a wife, a child and he doesn't have a wife. And he created everything and he knows all things. ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ. That is Allah. He is your Lord. See, we're talking about rububiyyah. Allah makes it clear. La ilaha illahu. There is nothing, there is no God. There is no object of worship. There is nothing befitting to be called a God illahu except Allah. خالق كل شيء فاعبدوه وهو على كل شيء وكيل. He is the creator of everything, so worship him. And he, Allah, is regarding everything wakil. He's taking care of everything. Mudabbirul amr min as-sama'i ila al-ard. He's managing all affairs from the universe to the planet, all the way up and down. لا تدركه الأبصار وهو يدرك الأبصار. Vision cannot encompass him, but he sees all things. وهو اللطيف الخبير. And he is meticulous, subtle, and aware of everything. قد جاءكم بصائر من ربكم. So now he says, didn't he just say Abasar? You see, look at the badi'ah. This is balagha. Okay? Allah is saying Abasar, al-basir is vision. To see something. Vision, your vision can't see him, but he sees everything, right? Then he says, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بَصَائِرُ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ. But now basar, vision has come to you. Clarity has come to you. Now you can see. How would it come from? From your Lord. فَمَنْ أَبْصَرَ فَلِنَفْسِهِ. So whoever can see it now, that's only going to benefit his own soul, his own self. وَمَنْ عَمِيَ فَعَلَيْهَا. And whoever is blind to it now, and that's on him too. وَمَا أَنَا عَلَيْكُمْ بِحَفِيظٍ. And I, humans, Allah's messenger and all of us, we are not upon you as a hafiz to make sure you do something, force you to do nothing. See, Allah telling us to stay in our lane, right? Stay in your lane. Do what you can do for yourself. Give da'wah. What am I saying? From this, we call, we warn, but we don't go beyond and become a zalim and force nobody to do nothing. Okay? وَكَذَلِكَ نُصَرِّفُ الْآيَاتِ وَلِيَقُولُوا دَرَسْتَ وَلِنُبَيِّنَهُ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. And like this, نُصَرِّفُ, how many times we give you the different ways of the ayat? لِيَقُولُوا, so that it can be said. Darasta, you studied it. You just hear it. Darasta. وَلِنُبَيِّنَهُ. And in order for us to make it plain, to make it clear to the people. That's what our job is. Right? He said, you ain't upon them as a hafiz, but you got to make it clear. And what? You got to make it clear. لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. To people that know that the last day is real. اتبع ما أوحي إليك من ربك. Follow the thing that has been revealed to you from your Lord. لا إله إلا هو. I don't need to translate that. وأعرض عن المشركين. And turn away from the mushrikeen. Again, that's being Hanifa, right? To incline away from shirk and mushrikeen. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَا أَشْرَكُوا. And if Allah had wanted it to be, they wouldn't have made shirk. وَمَا جَعَلْنَاكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَفِيظًا. And He has not made you over them as one to preserve them, to make them do anything. وَمَا أَنْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِوَكِيلٍ. And you ain't got to advocate on their behalf. You ain't their wakil. Allah is their wakil. وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. And don't you dare curse the things that they call on. Curse the things they pray to besides Allah. So that they turn around and curse Allah with animosity and because they ain't got no knowledge. كذلك زينا لكل أمة عملهم ثم إلى ربهم مرجعهم فينبئهم بما كانوا يعملون. It says, and likewise, I've made it attractive to every ummah, every nation, their activities. Right? Makes it fair seeming. America thinks it looks good for them to allow homosexuality, for them to allow, zina and riba and all the things that they do, drinking. It makes it good. Oh, it's okay. What's a little wine, right? That's what they say. But soon they're going to turn back to their Lord, and the Lord will make clear to them those things that they used to do, what the reality of those things that they did. وَأَقْسَمُوا بِاللَّهِ جَهْدَ أَيْمَانِهِمْ لَئِن جَاءَتْهُمْ آيَةٌ لَيُؤْمِنُنَّ بِهَا. And they swear all types of serious swears. They swear by Allah and oaths that if Allah, you just give me some real proof, I'll accept it. Just bring me an ayah and I'll believe in it. That's what they be saying, right? Qul, say to them, إِنَّمَا الْآيَاتُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. The fact of the matter is, the signs, the ayats come only from Allah. وَمَا يُشْعِرُكُمْ أَنَّهَا إِذَا جَاءَتْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. It says, and what will make you understand that if it did come to you, you wouldn't believe. Maybe you wouldn't believe. وَنُقَلِّبُ أَفْئِدَتَهُمْ وَأَبْصَارَهُمْ كَمَا لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَنَذَرُهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ. He says here, I'm looking nervous because I don't want to mess up the time. وَنُقَلِّبُ أَفْئِدَتَهُمْ. We flip their hearts around and we mess up their vision so they can't believe. Okay, like they didn't believe in the first time, they're never going to believe. Allah is the one that allows belief and disallows it. Okay, so now they won't come in. وَنَذَرُهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانٍ. And we leave them in their blind, walking around blind, tughyan, extremism. When the water goes overboard, it's worse than fire. Because there's what's that, fungus and all that stuff comes out. So he says, tughyanihim, they went too far. They went beyond the limits and blindly going around in their foolishness. Does that make sense? This is where we have to stop today. We should be able to finish it tomorrow easily. Inshallah ta'ala. Now, we only have a few pages. Na'am, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Now, inshallah, tomorrow we should be able to finish it. Please come so we have it done. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Remember, this is a surah of our aqeedah, our worldview, and that's why Allah has given us all these pictures and examples. I hope you can benefit from it. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum.